talking with Whit Devereaux today. Whit, I would love if you could introduce yourself and let our viewers know who you are and what you do.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Whit Devereaux. I am an award-winning author. I am a domestic violence survivor and advocate, nonprofit founder of Not By My Own Community, Inc., where we help women impacted by abuse to rebuild their lives. I also help entrepreneurs to obtain media placements and sponsorship opportunities within the community as a PR professional. So I typically say I do all the things, but that is, in a nutshell, who I am and what I do.
Thank you so much, Whit. And why did you need the Resolution Roadmap Group program?
Well, it's actually pretty twofold as to why. So, what I neglected to share is I'm also a mother. I co parent with two different fathers, but they were both from abusive relationships. So, that adds a whole nother level of conflict and me needing to either resolve the conflict or, as I've learned from you, if you can't resolve it, needing to manage it. So I did it for my own personal reasons so that I could co-parent better and more effectively, and also so that I could help the women that I mentor and that I serve to do it as well because they too co-parent with abusive exes.
Thank you, Whit. And how did you know that you were a good fit for coaching?
Well, I believe that you can never learn too much. And I knew that I needed a little extra help after I read your conflict management guide with all of the different tips and tools within your ebook. I knew that I needed another level, but I wasn't quite sure what route to take, especially with the sensitive topic that I shared in terms of co-parenting with an abusive ex. So when you introduce the course, I'm like, yes, this is something that I can do and I can go at my own pace. There is a support group, and that's what I needed at the time. So it just worked well together, my needs and the timing of the opening of the program.
Mhm. And why was coaching from me exactly what you needed?
Well, I want a faith based coach, and you are someone who is totally on fire for the Lord. You hear from God, and I trust the God in you. So I know that it's coming from a spiritual perspective as well as professional perspective because you have the years of experience with mediation and being an attorney. So it just made sense with you being somebody who has both. Because I don't want to try to tackle this type of situation, leaving God out of it, because I know He must be in the midst so that I can do it successfully.
Yes, yes, yes. If we don't do anything without God, the steps that we take without God. And if we do that, we are at the mercy of everything else that will come to try and beset us, you know? And so we always undergird ourselves with God and with His Word as we go through these journeys, you know? Um, it's not always perfect, but it is perfectly done when it is done with Him.
Yeah, it's much better when it's done with Him. I'm not trying to do it by myself.
Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt.
Amen.
Not doing it by myself anymore. What was your biggest moment of clarity when you got your conflict styles assessment that we did in the course?
Well, it actually revealed some things that I knew, but I didn't know how to use it to my advantage until taking the assessment. So, the way that I usually try to resolve things and reach a common ground, I know that I will usually try to do that initially. And then, if that doesn't work, that's when it escalates. And then I have to take other actions. So, it showed me how to use the other things that I'm not so strong in.
Mhm.
and use them so that I can now manage the conflict, because we're not in resolution state at this point. But I learned that by taking the course, if you can't resolve it, here's how to manage it, and here are your results so that you can now navigate in a different way.
Yes, yes. And with that conflict styles assessment came some coaching after you did the assessment. And how did our coaching after you got the assessment help you to implement that into your own problem that you were trying to resolve or manage?
Yeah. So, in doing the coaching afterwards, it really helped me to see it, because there were as actual printouts,
Yes.
and then apply it because you gave me the space to share my results, and then go one by one what they were and how I could apply it with co-parenting. And for me, it's helped me not to get so upset like I used to. I used to be through the roof angry with the situation, trying to resolve it, trying to fix it. But now seeing those results, being able to talk to you in the group setting, one on one, it just helps me to put the missing pieces together. So now when I approach the situation, it's from a different mindset. And therefore, like I said, I'm able to do it more effectively. And for me, that means I'm not as angry as I was before. Get to be more calm handling it this route.
Yes. And when you do that with, it helps you, it helps the inner woman to actually live better and not be so angry and so worked up, which takes a lot of toll on us physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually, you know? So to be able to approach the conflict from a more calm place is a blessing. And I'm so glad
Amen.
you're enjoying that blessing. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, how did the coaching transform how you feel about the issue, the conflict?
Well, because we were breaking it down in our one to one and then our group, it's almost like I can predict what is going to happen based on the past behavior.
Yes.
So now I know if that's what I can expect from that co parenting situation, then here are the tools that I can now use so
Mhm.
that I'm more in control of myself.
Yes.
When I'm upset and not feeling like I'm being heard, usually in the past I would just act out of emotion. But now it's just been just a more calm space, more centered. And then that helps the people connected to me,
Yes.
because now the kids don't have to see me being so short and upset. The
Mhm.
people and the clients I serve, the women I mentor, I can speak from a place of understanding and empathy, but then also teach them how to
Yeah.
now try to resolve, if not resolve, and manage. So it's almost like a ripple effect. And so for me, it's always, if I can help somebody else, then I want to do it. So by helping myself, now I'm able to help other people.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's amazing the way that you are able to transfer what you do to others because you help so many other people. And I'm wondering if there's anything you could share about what you're doing with the skills that you learned. Is there anything exciting that you are doing with the skills that you've learned in the Resolution Roadmap Group program?
Yes. So actually, right after we finished the workshop with you, the course, I created a program. So we have monthly master classes for my mentees.
Yes.
Last month, I did a child advocacy when there's parent alienation course. So we have some parents who, again, have to co parent with abusive ex. So I was able to talk to them about how to de-escalate the conflict. And if they're using the child, for instance, to try to keep you in bondage, here are some of the things you can do to maintain control of yourself. And then ultimately to become an advocate for your child. So I basically took what I learned and
Yes.
then upgraded a course that I've done before, which was co-parenting with abusive ex, and just made it more specific to putting boundaries in place and really sticking by them. Because as I've learned from being in the course and just from trial and error, when you don't have boundaries in place, it just makes it more difficult with conflict. So having those boundaries in place is something I've been stressing to the mentees, and I implement it into the course so now they can learn how to establish boundaries, but then to hold them so that they can manage any conflicts that may arise.
Beautiful, beautiful. I know they're going to be really grateful for that because parenting is one of the most important jobs on this earth, and co-parenting often comes with its own stresses, you know. And one of the things that I always like to talk to with parents about is how to find the common ground. You know, the issues are always going to be there unless the Lord takes care of them. People will take certain positions unless they are convinced somehow to walk back from those positions. But if we focus on the common interests or the common ground, you know, it's going to help people to be able to not really deal with the issues. You're finding common ground. It helps parents not to deal with the issues or the positions that people take, but actually to look at the common interests, which are beautiful children that they're both charged to take care of, you know? So I'm so happy that you're able to use it like this. And with as you go forward with your business, how can our listeners connect with you?
Well, you can find me on social media everywhere at Whit Devereaux and mostly on my website, whitdevereaux.com, which is WHITDEVEREAUX.com. There you'll see everything that I have going on with my for profit as well as my nonprofit business. And you can help us just by spreading the message that this conflict resolution exists and that is possible, and just to maintain control of yourself. I think that's the message that I've been wanting to spread the most in this season.
Yes.
And if you can get control over yourself, then these other issues will not seem as big.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes. Is there anything else that you would want listeners to know about you or to know that I have not asked?
Well, about me, you can go everywhere where ebooks are sold and you can get Not By My Own. That is actually the book that I won the award for, which chronicles overcoming abuse, teenage pregnancy, depression, anxiety. It's a good gift to give to someone you know who may be in an abusive situation and not really knowing how to get out. And it's even a good gift for yourself if you just like to learn, be educated, and spread knowledge and awareness. I believe in 365 all year round awareness. So you can also get that on my other site, which is notbymyown.com. But again, everything is hyperlinked on Whit Devereaux, so you can't go wrong there.
Rich, thank you so much. You have done so much for so many women, and I just want to take a moment to really honor you and to thank you on their behalf and to let you know how proud I am of you and how much I admire you for being an overcomer, for your authenticity, and for the way you allow yourself to be vulnerable when you share so that other women can overcome. You really Let people know that you've not done this by your own, but with the help of the Lord, and you encourage and lead so many women in your private groups out of the pathway of abuse. And on behalf of all the women that you do that for, I just want to thank you and just to publicly recognize how valuable you are to the community of women and to the kingdom of God.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Tabitha.
Thank you so much, Whit. Thank you so much. And God bless you on your journey. I hope that you will continue to hang out with us in your resolution room as one of the graduates of our program and just be here and help and inspire anyone else along this journey.
Yes, indeed. I will be there.
Thank you so much.